and welcome to another episode of 2.5 Days with me, Al Thompson, Ryan McCready. Unfortunately, Stevie hasn't made it today. He's on holiday. And
fuck Stevie. Sorry, mate.
He's in holiday in a Haven caravan park, so all the best to him. With two wains, we know how hard it can be. But today we're joined by somebody who has been a big influence on myself and Ryan in comedy.
Really?
We talk about him quite a lot, and we're very happy to have him on. It's John Obie O'Brien.
Yay! Say that as if, like, when you do that at a gig, you expect a cheer, but in here it's only the 3 years.
Aye, cheer
like,
yourself. Aye.
How you doing, aye?
Aye, good. How's you?
Good.
Alright, so what's this influence shit? Like, how can I be an influence? I'm a ball bag.
Well, you were quite pivotal in my career.
Aye.
Because the week
Too.
the week after I booked my first gig, you told me just go and do it and get
Aye.
it started, and I've lived by that mantra. Just do it.
Aye, because I think that happens because people kind of want to do something and they think they have to be 100% prepared. I was like, fuck off, just go and be shite at it for a while.
Yeah.
Just get in, get ball deep, just get in.
So, yeah, because you do well, like hardest working guy during the Edinburgh Fringe.
Oh,
100%.
easy.
That's absolutely mental. So, do you know how many gigs you done at last year's Edinburgh Fringe, all in, or do you lose count?
That last year, the year before I counted, right? I kind of gave the year before I counted. I gave myself a target of doing at least 100, and I'd done like 110 or something like that. So this year I didn't do as much. I was doing my 3 shows a day, the 2 solo shows and a compilation show plus guest spots. So I've probably done 80 or 90 this year. So not as much. So I took my foot off the gas a wee bit.
Aye, give yourself a bit of a break.
Because so the year before I was kind of chasing guest spots. So this year I done at least 4 a day because it was a regular guest spot I was doing. So that's at least 80 plus other guest spots. So there was a gig I done in the morning that I done at 11 that was called the Irish Breakfast. So it's meant to be for Irish comedians, but Irish comedians don't get up at 11 in the morning. so the guy used to put me on because I'm Italian.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of Irishness in there, so it's like great grandparents or something.
Aye.
So he put me on, and that was good for plugging my shows because it was an Irish show. You got a decent audience in. That was good for plugging my first show at 2:30 and stuff. So
That's good.
so about 80 or 90 this year.
That's
But
mental.
last year I was kind of going for a target. But this year I kind of went,
Aye.
fucking last year, 2 years ago I was going for a target, but last year. What fucking year is it? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
You know what you mean.
2023. I was going for a target. No, half an hour. You know what I mean?
You know what you mean.
You got the point.
Aye. So, like, fuck, I forgot what I was going to say there. So you've got your own podcast as well. Is it the
Aye. So I've just started it. We've done 8 episodes, but we put 4 out. So it's we've put 4 out. So it's been consistent, mate. So we're trying to put 4. So I've never been consistent. I've always been like a fucking scatterbrain.
Aye.
So I've got a guy. There's a guy I used to work with. I'm doing it with. It's called the Fuck It List. Look it up. See, that's me plugging myself already. Right?
Plug away.
We'll do it at the end as well.
Aye. I've got shows as well. We'll plug him or not.
Aye,
Right?
as well.
So it's just called the Fuck It List because I've been doing a show like that for years, which is kind of developing and it's kind of different every year. Just about taking chances in life. You know, as I said to you, like you were talking about doing that. Where was that talk? Was it the Wishaw gig or was it?
Aye, it was Girbage.
Girbage. Are you pals with
Liam?
And you said, I want to do stand up. What should I do? Should I do a course and all that? You can do a course, but just fucking go for it.
Aye.
Courses are good for learning structure, but you can't beat actually just being on stage and dying in your hole and learning from the experience of doing it.
Mistakes and stuff
kind
like
of
that.
listen to the like more experienced acts. Some people say, right, that was a bit shite, but that wee bit you done was quite good, expanding that stuff. So you might do 5 minutes, I think it would be a minute and that you go, right, that's what's funny. That's what makes you funny. The rest it was pure garbage. But if you didn't do that gig, you wouldn't have learnt that.
Yeah. Aye, exactly.
It's like driving. Like you don't drive, do
No,
you?
no.
You drive, Al.
Aye.
So it's like driving. Like you could read all the theory about driving all you want, but you can't just learn to drive by reading a book.
Aye.
It's the same as stand up. There's some brilliant books on stand up. I've got a load of them. I'm still learning, man. I still learn all the time, and I read loads of books, and you can learn a lot about structure and all that and wee tips, but unless you're actually on doing it, you learn fuck all.
Definitely. Do you remember when? I'm not meant to say because obviously you're older than us, but
You did for that, Al. Ageism, man.
when did you start? When did you start doing stand up?
Well, I think it scares me. Do you ever kind of get to somebody that scares you when you know the answer but you don't want to say it out loud? So what age are you?
23.
What age are you?
34.
34. So I started stand up before you were born, man.
Really?
Not before you were born,
No,
but
no,
so,
This week and the last week was a mad contrast because we
Aye.
had Mick Mackin, who's 18, and he
Oh,
knew
see, I don't know
to
him,
the
see,
day, what day he started stand up.
Aye. So no, I know roughly. So it was 25 years ago this year. So I reckon it was about March. I don't know exactly, but I done Viv. You know Viv D, obviously,
yeah.
right? So I done her second ever comedy workshop.
Oh, did you?
Aye. And do you know what it was? Right? I always wanted to do stand up. Right, it was just in my brain. It was like kind of I never told my parents because it was like. It was like a wee secret. It was like coming out. It was like,
Aye.
you know what I mean? It's
Aye.
like no, it's like I don't know if it's a Scottish working class thing.
We're the same.
Aye.
We said that too. Aye.
You're like, because I done Viv's course and I was sneaking away every Thursday or something to do the
Oh,
course.
even when you were doing it, like.
Aye, so I was like, where are you going tonight? I'm robbing a bank tonight. What was this? Swingers club, gay club. So every night, that was easier. Like, you know what I mean?
Aye.
Especially back then. Like, I think
No, it's made acceptable.
It was just. I think it was just it's a working class thing. If you're doing something that's different for the, either go to uni, get a job, get a trade, get a job. People just don't understand that you can do something different. And even mates growing up, like working class mates, I'm doing stand up. Like, fuck off. What are you talking about? Doing stand up. Fucking tell us a joke then.
Aye.
Have you ever heard people doing this thing? If you say to yourself, I'm doing a bit of stand up. Here, they can humiliate you. Here, you hear this cunt, he's doing stand up.
Tell us all a joke. And you're like,
They try and humiliate you.
Aye.
You ever get that?
100% all the time.
And I don't know where that comes from. Is that?
Don't know.
Have you experienced that as well?
I've had support more than anything. Like I don't
I've
know
had
if
a good
it's,
bit of
but
support,
I don't think MD's really kind of known. Nobody's really kind of tried to do that. I mean, I think it's just because I've always kind of. I mean, it took me on home, but I've always have been kind of funny, so I think it was kind of natural for everybody to kind of think that that's what I should do.
Aye, but even, see when I tell folk, I do stand-up comedy. No, tell us a joke. I'm like, it doesn't work. I say, what do you do for a living? And like, I go to this woman, I belt her. I'm like, what do you do for a living? She's like, a doctor. And I'm like, give me a diagnosis. And she just went, I'm like, exactly. So
check
don't
my
afford. So
Check my prostate, you bitch. Stick your finger up my arse. That's so true, innit?
Aye.
You know,
You do get it.
and even now, like, because I've been doing it for years, because I'm not, I'm trying to do more social media to get my name out there a bit more to build an audience. And even like, I'm doing a wee warehouse job 3 days a week now, right? And I was in one of the older guys, and they're kind of stuck in this kind of way of thinking. Day job is the only way. And I said, I'm going down to 3 days a week now. They went, what are you doing that for? He says, well, I'm a stand-up comedian. And I told him about my stand-up, but it was as if his eyes glazed over.
And just
It
in
didn't
the
even
computer.
hear it. It didn't,
Aye.
so it was like a non. It was like. It was like a blank.
Aye.
Aye.
It didn't even say. There was no part in went. Did they say, "Oh, that sounds interesting. Tell me a bit more about that."
Aye.
No interest
So
in
just
it.
stuck in the 95 kind of thing.
Stuck in
aye.
the fucking day job thing, and that happens quite a lot. If I tell somebody I do stand up, I do stand up, and they go, "It's just that look of confusion, man."
Aye, I mean, there's nothing wrong. We always live in the job and stuff like that.
No,
but
no.
but I think it is working class folk try to do the arts is just
Aye.
kind of frowned
Aye,
upon.
it's like-
And I love chatting to
you
folks
do.
here in the warehouse, right? I mean, it's a shite job. It's good. I've not had a real job for years, which is great. So every now and again, I can jump in a wee job when the gigs are a wee bit quiet, which is cool. Do it for a few months when then I've got loads of gigs, I don't have to do it, which is always good. And I love talking to different people, because as well as you get guys like that, you always find people like in a shitty job that are doing something. You go, fucking hell. You know, you maybe judge them kind of subconsciously. You go, it's just a warehouse guy. And then you actually talk to people.
Everybody, there's nobody sitting there. Well, I don't know. I can't speak for everybody, but there's nobody sitting there going, when I grow up, I'm going to be a warehouse worker. I can't wait to work in a warehouse. Do you know what I mean? It's not a bad job. I've done a bit of warehouse work. I didn't like it, but I like working. I like working with the public.
Aye.
I'm one of the oddballs. See, folk
What do you do again?
currently unemployed.
I work with the public every week, cash your gyro, and then they sign on.
Sitting in the flare with a cup shaking.
I'm only 23.
Aye. No, I just packed my job in the other week. Yeah.
Fuck them.
A guy would work.
That's a fuck it list thing. Fuck it, let's do this.
No, it was a fuck them list.
Fuck them, aye.
I had to tell him to go fuck himself and tell his son to go fuck himself and walk to work.
Fuck them. Fucking good on you, man. Because definitely, if you don't like a job, fuck it. Because I think the mentality when I was growing up was like people, they can't, like, there was always like shame on people that can't stick a job. So staying in a job for, there used to be this job for life shit. That scares the fuck out of me.
Aye.
Yeah.
Fuck
100%.
that. And if you don't like a job, fucking leave, man. You might be skint for a wee while, but if you're doing something you hate,
I've had 14 jobs at the age of 23.
fucking, you're beating me, man. I've got like 37 or something like that. He's going for my world record, this kid, isn't he? 23, I think I probably only had a hand, well, maybe 2 or 3 at that point. I was at uni. I went to uni.
Because
as well,
I'm at, see if I can either go over there and earn more money or I fucking hate it here. I'm not fucking hanging. I've never done what I've wanted to do in life, do you know what I mean? Apart from comedy.
So see your family and stuff, how do they, I bet, do they kind of see that as you're a quitter or that you can't hold down a job?
Every time I get a new job, my dad and my papa go, that's your last life, you're running out of options. I'm like, how?
Fuck off, man.
See, the last time I get sacked from my job at 12:30 and I had a new job at 3 o'clock.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? You can get jobs in the bar.
Aye,
I've just kind of took my time with this one. I just can't be bothered.
See, I think now, I don't know if it's, I'm not political, I don't know much about Brexit, but I think because of Brexit, it's easy to get a job now.
Do you think so?
Well,
It's becoming
is it
easier.
easier? Am I wrong?
When I was growing up, I worked in Asda for like 10 years.
Just because a lot of the guys that weren't allowed to stay here, there's a lot of jobs available. I don't know if that's true or not, might be.
I think it is easier than what it was kind of like 10, 20
Aye,
years ago.
because I think there's a
you know what I
lot of, like, even during the festival last year, there's a lot of bar staff at points struggling to get staff in.
mean? Oh, really?
So I think that there is a general shortage in like certain types of job for staff
I'm doing that next year. I'm going to try and find a wee pub or something.
of the festival.
Aye.
They flying, man.
I'm quality flying, man.
Well, you could.
Because I've done it with the wrestling for years.
They flying, you make a fortune, you make a lot more doing that
Do
than
you?
you would in a bar. Oh, fuck aye, man. So Dane flying, I had Paul Connell. You know Paul
Aye,
Connell?
aye.
Aye,
He
aye.
was phenomenal,
He's good,
right?
he's good.
Phenomenal. And he was flying in 2 of my shows a day. And he was like getting me good. I had my best year ever last year.
Aye.
Right, so that was, he was part of that, right? He was a big part of that. So he's flying in. The combination of having right times, right locations for the 2 shows, plus good bit of word of mouth. And I've got built a bit of an audience up there as
from
well.
last year as
plus
well,
Paul
aye.
Connell. And so fucking he was maybe doing a few a day. So you get £15 an hour for doing it.
Aye.
Plus a bonus.
Can you do this all year run?
Aye. Well, see if you want, you could, if you were good at it, and it works on reputation. If you're a decent flyer, I think you'd be good at it. I'd get you doing it.
Aye, aye.
I'll do it.
So it's
Neighbour.
£15 an hour plus a bonus if you fill the room. So it's a £5 bonus for filling
That's
the room.
all right, by
Plus, like if I was getting a good bucket, I'd give him extra because
Yeah.
like it was more than paid for
More than
himself.
they go, aye,
If you
aye.
had give out if you're flyering, say like I was doing the PBH free fringe, so it's all donations. So maybe I'm getting, you know, if it's a good show, you get a lot, maybe a tenner per head, well, between a £5 and a tenner per head.
Aye.
So it's, you know, so maybe say I get £200 or £300 a show, and that's if you've got me half of the people in.
Aye.
You know, it's worth paying you fucking 30 quid some days just to go fuck it. And I was always buying them a few beers.
Aye. I will give me a shout. I'll work for that.
fucking hell.
I'll
So
do it.
the only
I'll
reason
do
I
your
had
full
to-
run. Because I seen your Globe show last year.
Aye.
And you were doing it at the Globe and it was fucking brilliant. I loved it. And see that room, I know, the way
Aye,
it's set.
aye, it's good
a
to be
brilliant
around.
room.
I come up to you, was it your memory show that you done as
That's been a
well?
few years since I've done that. Though,
Aye, I think that was the one I come up for. It's how did you get into all of that? Like, what's it like? You can. Aye, talk me through it.
the memory
how
stuff?
do you do it? What's
Right, it's actually easier than you think. So it's because right. See, I was fascinated. All right, I'm a weirdo, right? I don't do comedy, and I'm a bit kind of off your like kind of how's my comedy? Is it off the wall?
Off your jumper.
Off your nut.
See, I can't do that. See, we'll see what type of comedy you do.
I hate that
I was
question.
like, I don't fucking know, man.
I can't answer it
So I
either.
do political satire. That day, fuck.
That's really the only answer to that, innit? If you don't do that,
I
it's
don't do
just
political satire.
jokes, innit? I just do jokes.
Is it,
really.
what is it observational? I don't do observational, do
No,
you?
No.
I know. I suppose I would call it observational.
But it's not observational because it's what you see in the room in front of you. Like
that's
that's so it's not even observational. It's
I don't
just
fucking know.
off the wall.
You're
off the
just a
cuff,
great
off
act
your nut.
anyway, Obie.
Aye.
Stop it, man.
Off your nut.
So the memory stuff, right? I was fascinated with that. Do you know why? Do you know how I got into that? Right, I was at school.
Right, what's the memory stuff?
Oh, aye, right. So,
All right.
so there was
can explain it to him.
I was at the show, so you can.
This
I'll-
isn't
I'll
got
tr-
done material of yours, is it?
So
No,
there was a flip chart, and how many things? When I went there, I think there was must have been about 90
Aye.
topics or something like that. And all you'd do is shout out a number, and he would tell you what the number was, and then he'd flip it, and it would be the exact thing that he was talking about.
Aye, so what it was, I got like suggestions from audiences. I kind of added them up over the shows.
Aye.
So maybe one day I'd get 10, then like another 10 for the next audience. Then so like years ago, the first time I got it up to 300. Right, so I did a flip chart with 300 random suggestions on it. So it could be anything. So I always got a bit of a laughing audience with that. Make suggestions. People shout out Hitler, fucking sausage supper. You know, fucking Donald Trump. Just different things. A doner kebab with salad and sauce separate. So they do shit like that. So they give me all these suggestions, right? And I eventually got up to 300, and I'd memorise them by number. So what I'd do, I would start a story. So maybe I'd start a story about Al. I'd usually pick something else. So Al was born in 1992. That's well off. 1992. and then what happened was, when the day he was born, I'd put my hand up. So I'd say every time I raise my hand, somebody shout out a number, and I've got to incorporate whatever comes up into the story. So
Right,
that,
aye,
so
aye.
so a number was 32, and then so when he was born, the nurse came in and fed him a doner kebab with salad and sauce extra, and I would kind of build up. Like, that always became a punchline. What it was, so I didn't say it right away. I would lead up to it until they knew it was coming. So because of it, so every number he shouted out had to be a word that I would add to the story. And I got it up to 300 the first year I done it.
That's fucking fantastic.
It's insane watching it.
I couldn't do that.
You could
My
though, so I
memory's
could
pumped.
I could teach you how to do that in like a day, 2 days.
Aye.
And I can memorise a pack of cards as well. So see a shuffled pack of cards, I can memorise them in order in like 10 minutes.
Aye, right.
Aye, I'll show you if you got a pack of cards. We'll don't do it, but it'll be a shite podcast in that. But I could like
Just
if-
becomes
if,
a TED talk it up.
Aye.
if there's a pack of cards, right, you could maybe do a wee edited video and add it on.
Aye.
Because it'd be boring as fuck me sitting like that doing it. But like, so it's, and all it is, right, it's association. I'm trying to think a way of demonstrating it. Because I learned it years ago. Because I was at uni, school, and I was doing quite well at school. But then I got to 17, now you get to that age. I was a wee swat. I was a wee boring bastard, quite a wee swat. And I wasn't good at I didn't really good. My pals were out drinking in the street, and I was like, no, I'm studying chemistry, because I was a wee spotty bastard, right? Wee spotty guy. Got to be a virgin for life, right? And born again virgin now. And but when I got to 17, I started to get out. Like, I just kind of came out my shell a wee bit. Now you're in the 5th year at school. So I was spending less time studying. And I remember seeing Paul Daniels on telly. He was doing a programme about memory training. And they showed a wee it was interesting. It was like 10 people. This guy was training these people and then come back and they were memorising all these numbers and shit. And I was like, fucking hell. And I was thinking, and I always believe that if somebody can do something, there's always a strategy behind it. You know what I mean?
Aye.
So if you've never played golf before, you just have to learn to do it. You might not be as good, like even comedy.
Muscle
Right?
memory type.
No, it's just there's always like for every skill, there's a strategy if you learn it from somebody that's good.
Right, aye.
So there's always a way of doing stuff, right?
Aye,
I mean, no, like, you're not going to be like you can learn like, how to play basketball from Michael Jordan. You want to be as good
You're
as
not
him
gonna
because
be
there's
Michael
obviously
Jordan.
genetics and stuff involved.
Yeah.
But you can still learn to be an all right player to your ability if you learn the way he learned.
Aye.
You know what I mean? So there's always a way of, there's always like a sequence of things you do to learn how to do something.
Aye, it's practice and training.
Aye.
And all that
So
kind of-
memory, right? I'll show you after it. Gonna do. That would take too long for a podcast, but this is put me triggers out so people will watch other things, right? So it's about association. So it's like let me think. No, right, I'll do a quick one. I'll do a quick one, right?
Right, go.
So say the shopping list, and it's about developing a good memory, and this is the basics, and it is about location. So where do you put your memory? So have you ever had hear a song, and it reminds you of somebody or something?
Yeah.
You ever hear a song and you go, she fucking left me, you start crying. You ever get that? You hear a song and it kind of reminds you of a girl that dumped you or something, and it reminds you of like a family member.
Aye.
That life Jane took the reins and
Aye,
kicked you out the house and
See, I've
You're styling
traumatised
Craig
him now, right? Or you have a smell, you smell something
Aye.
and past it reminds you of your granny's soup from
Aye,
years ago or
aye.
something. You know what I
Aye,
mean?
I've had
Or you
that.
smell a perfume or something, you go, holy shit. Stuff like
I'm
that.
there, aye.
So there's always there's triggers. Right, so you've got a brilliant memory, so I can say something to you, remind you of something from years ago. So every memory's got a trigger that gets you there. But the only difference with like a train memory, you learn where it's for putting the triggers in sequence.
right.
Right, so let's give you an example. So say, and it's mental, right? I actually used to do workshops on this to teach
Aye.
it. So I'll do it with 5, right? So locations, so you could use a room for locations. So, but you could do it. I'll show you. So give me, say it's a shopping list,
Right.
right? So give me 5 things on a shopping list,
Milk,
right? Milk,
cereal,
cereal,
cheese,
right? Make it something a bit mental.
a cock ring.
A what?
A cock ring.
Cock ring, right?
You asked for mental. That's as good as
And a
that.
shovel.
I want a shovel. Right, so 5 things. Right, so can
not
I
good,
stand? Can
mate.
I stand up to do this?
Aye.
Aye.
Does that, or would that? It doesn't
We-
matter. So.
we take your mic
No,
with
I
you?
better take the mic. So no, it doesn't matter. I'll do it sitting down. It's fine. I can do it. So what you do is, right, and I used to do this. You ever done the roast battles?
You've got one.
I've done one, aye.
You done one, right? There's rap battles as well. Most people have got notes. I never take notes because I've memorised what I'm going to say.
Aye.
Right, and what I do is I put like every idea on the other. Like, so imagine I have a visualization for each thing on the person's body. Right, so let's go with this one. So imagine this shopping list. So I use my body for remembering that. Right, this sounds mental, but it works. So imagine on my face, right, and it's fucking surreal shit, right? Surreal shit. So you memorise things that are unusual. So every day you do normal things, you forget like everyday shit. Imagine you'll remember the day you were walking down Wishaw and there was a giraffe walking by. Remember that day there was a giraffe just walking down the street and shat everywhere. Like, you remember that? Because it's ridiculous, right? So it's about creating ridiculous things. So the first one was milk. So you start in my head. So imagine just like I'm standing here and there's milk pouring out my eyes. Right?
Aye.
And it sounds fucking mental. There's milk pouring out my eyes going fucking, it's mad. Right? So you watch me, there's milk pouring out my eyes. And then the next one's egg in it. Was it egg? No, cereal. So imagine just there, instead of having a neck, there's just a big box of cereal around my neck and it's spinning. Right? It's just fucking mad, right? And the next one was cheese.
Yeah.
Cheese, aye.
So cheese, I'm naked, right? So I've just I'm squirting squishy cheese out of my nipples.
Just cut that one sentence.
You'll never hear that. You'll never hear that in any fucking podcast in history. I'm squirting squishy cheese out my nipples. It'll never happen. Google it. Has anybody ever said on a podcast, I'm squirting squishy cheese out my nipples?
I don't think so, Obie.
Right. So what was the next one? Cock ring. So it was cock ring
ring.
and something else.
Would you shovel?
Right. So next one.
I thought this was a memory thing.
Aye, but I've not memorised them yet, so this is me putting them in the system.
Oh, right, okay, this is you.
So next one's
right,
cock
okay.
ring. So imagine that we're at my belly button, but instead of my belly button, there's a big cock coming out my belly button. Right? There's a big enormous ring on it, a big gold ring on this cock. So imagine there's milk coming out my eyes, there's cereal stuck to me, there's fucking cheese coming out my nipples, and there's a big cock in my belly button. My cock's too high. You remember it because it was ridiculous. There's a big ring on it.
That sounds like the worst acid trip I could think of.
Exactly. And then I'm jumping about, right? So this is all happening. And then you look down at my legs, and I've not got legs anymore. I've just got a big shovel at the bottom. It's just I'm jumping about. I'm just jumping about in this big shovel. And and when I do the workshops, that sounds fucking ridiculous. And usually, when I've done them over the few hours, I would teach them 50 random things in different ways. And usually at the start, it looks like I'm getting that for you there. I look off, you're fucking lost it now, Obie, right? So usually a few people are quite intelligent sometimes. Like you get engineers and stuff who are quite logical. And they go, nah, that's nah. So they're all formulas and shit.
Yeah.
But I teach them, I've got a shit memory, mate, this won't work with me. They go, fucking watch me. And then I'll do like 10 things and they'll go, maybe they're still sceptical. Then by the end of it, I'll rhyme off the 50 things, and every one of them in the room will get all the 50 things. Because all so that's just like an example of one of the techniques, but there's different ones like that. And it's nuts. And if you can do that, you can memorise a pack of cards as well.
I forgot we were talking about a packet of cards.
Aye, you know what I mean? Because you turn, there's codes. So that's how you do it. But the only difference when it comes to things like cards, you're turning cards into images. So there's a code that turns cards into images. So give me a card.
3 of clubs.
3 of clubs would be Cammy, right? A guy I used to work with. That's the image for the 3 of clubs, right? And the reason for that
Shows
right,
what you think of him.
Aye. So the reason for that, right, is because you learn. There's a code that turns every card into a word, which you've got an image for.
Right.
So the 3 of clubs is C. The first letter of the word is C, which is clubs. Right. So C is Cammy, and M. So there's a whole number system that you learn as well. You need to learn that. So once you learn the code system, it's fucking easy, man. It's a piece of piss.
That's brilliant.
So for 3, the letter for 3 is M. Right. So there's every letter. So every letter's got every number has got a letter associated with it with the system. But you learn how to do that. And we teach you that first. So the 3 of clubs would be C, M. That turns into Cammy. So if I was memorising Cammy, so I would do him round the room. So I'd imagine Cammy standing in the corner of the fucking room for that part of the deck. It sounds mental, but I guarantee you I could teach you that within a day or two.
Something I'd be interested to learn, but my head's too fried for.
See, that's bullshit though. That's bullshit. Like, people have got that belief. Sometimes people think, I can't learn that. And then I go, you fucking can. And then all of a sudden a day later I'm going, fucking hell, you're right. And sometimes it's a belief thing as well.
Yeah.
Maybe see when you wanted to start doing stand-up, you probably had all these blocks going, I need to write a set, I need to learn how to write a set. Then I said to you, just fucking do it. You go, all right, I've done it now. So it's just kind of going, so get over that belief that you can do something. So there's a strategy that you could do that, and I know I can teach you how to do it as well. And within a day, well, fuck, I can actually do this. You can maybe do that as a wee bit of video as you want, as a wee extra.
Aye, well, that's something I might look into, by the way, because I like doing shit.
I write shit down in my hands all the time and I hate it.
See, I've got better at memorising material.
Aye, and you could...
Because I was like I used to write my wrist and I used to do all that. But I felt as if I was always staring at my wrist and I hated it. So I took, like, even when I'm running new stuff, I take that 5-10 minutes before I go on stage to read it, memorise it, and then go out and say it. And then after you do it 2 or 3 times, it's in there, and then you can play about it. Do you know what I mean?
Aye. Well, we'll see with memorise. You could do memorising a set's a piece of piss as well. So what you could do is you can I just farted there, right? So I tried to keep it quiet there. So the microphone.
You would get away with it.
I know.
I've had to call it out. I
I
got
fart every week.
Is that why you sit over there?
I've been chucked to
Is
here.
that why he's like, Obie, please sit here? He's a big smelly bastard. Aye, so for memorising a set, can't believe we went to comedies talking about memorising shit, man. So you could actually see the way I placed things on my body for that.
Aye.
So you can actually, say you've got a set list. So give me 3 points of your set list.
So there's Israel Palestine,
Right.
granny porn,
Randy Poor, fuck it, man.
and which one of my orbits? Which one of my orbits? You've threw me off here. Which one?
Chugging in a truck.
Aye, the lorry.
Right. So what you
Having
would
a
do
wank
is,
lorry.
right, so I'm sure you could come up with images for these three things. Right, so Israel, Palestine, a bit of war going on, explosions and shit, and then granny porn, yes, and then wanking on a truck. So what you would do is, so see if you were in a comedy club, right? So I actually taught this to Viv G years ago, when she was doing a solo show, and it was all brand new stuff, and she was a bit going, we went for some food and that, and I taught her to memorise her set, like a full hour, like all the bullet points, because she knew her stuff, but she was kind of I can't quite get it
Losing
all.
track.
Aye, and I taught her, and she actually went round the room, she was doing the set in, and put all her bullet points as images round the room.
Aye.
And she went in and she said that was her best gig during this up to that point, just because she memorised it all. So it's like, so you see, if you were round this room, there's a guitar there, you probably can't see it. So the first one would be like the wars and stuff like that. So I just imagine every time you look over there, it explodes.
Aye.
Right, the second one, granny porn. So over at the light there, imagine the front of just two old grannies snogging up there, right? And it's just dead graphic there. Big Al's got a semi over there. And the next point over there's a truck over there, and you're looking at the window like that, having a chug, watching the granny, right? So this podcast will never be the same again. Meanwhile,
How will we look at that light?
No.
meanwhile, I've got fucking cheese coming out my nipples. Right? And see the fact that it's humorous, it's funny.
Yeah,
you remember stuff.
It, aye.
Oh, 100%.
Because if you're just remembering stuff that's black and white on a bit of paper, it's kind of boring. Your brain's like, I'm bored at this, bored to fuck.
Aye.
So see you're in like a comedy club, or you can even memorise it. If you can, you know in your head, you know what your house looks like, don't you? You know in
Aye.
your living room where things are. So you know, like I've got a radiator, I've got a door there, I've got a wee cabinet, I've got a mirror, I've got like a door, another door, a window, computer desk, couch. So you can actually put images on these things and make them interact, and you can memorise a set that way. Or you could do it just in a comedy club just before you go on. You go, right, my set, so that bit. So I sometimes do that if I'm doing new stuff. So I go around, go, right, there's a big pissy mattress over there for wetting the bed. You know that bit, I do a wee bit about wetting the bed now, and so I'll just do all my new bits around the room. You know,
It's just the way you went. I do that bit about wetting the bed now. As if you wet the bed now and you do a bit about it.
I've not wet the bed for years, months, weeks. It's taking photos in the background there, right? So it genuinely works, man, and I love doing it. I love doing it.
I can imagine it does work. Though,
It does.
Oh,
because
100%. And she's been able to turn that into comedy, that must be brilliant.
Aye. And I used to kind of, with that part of, I don't know if I've done it with that memory show. I didn't do it all the time. At time, I would actually teach the audience a wee sequence as well. You know what I mean? I think I've done a wee bit where I actually taught them that. So if anybody asks you usually go away after a comedy show and you ask, what did they say? You can't remember a thing. So here's my set, and I'll tell them, like, that's how the show went. So if anybody asks you go, oh, they actually got away remembering what I said.
I can tell you the shopping list as well. Like, I'm honestly, my memory's shite and everything, but
so
you've
see,
got
you've
said that.
you've got milk, cereal, cheese, cock rings, shovel.
Aye, there you go, mate.
Fuck me.
Aye.
See, it's that stupid.
No way
Aye,
we got to the
aye.
end of that and it's worked.
Of course it works, man.
Because halfway through it, I was sceptical, but that has worked because it's milk cereal cheese cock
ring
ring
shovel?
shovel.
Aye.
Fucking mental.
Aye.
Fair play to you.
And that's only 5, and that's like, if I'd spent a few hours teaching you, I'd have you doing 50 easy. Easy,
Aye.
man. Easy.
Oh, I could believe it now.
Aye.
Right, so
Back to
another
comedy
thing-
again.
Aye.
Aye.
If you
That was
you must have
intense.
some mental stories at gigs, man. Because how long you been going?
I just forgot. Remember the guys, I told them at the party.
You never actually said,
I
did you?
fucking did.
Aye, you've been going
You
longer
remember
than
how long
you've
we
been.
gone
Aye,
for?
longer than
long-
I've been alive.
25
Oh,
years.
I did. Did I say 25? I'd
Aye.
say longer. Aye, 25
25
years.
year this
So
year.
what kind of stories you want?
Like, just the mental gigs. I don't know, mental gigs or fucking after gigs or mental people you've met
loads
on
of
the road.
stuff.
I know, 25 year, but you're asking a
Aye.
lot into it.
I
It's
suppose.
all been pretty. It's all been. Everyone's been pretty normal. Nothing.
Aye.
Nothing's bad happening.
Nah. Oh,
No, there is. I'm trying to think. Late night gig when everybody walked out. There was
What?
mad gigs. It's mad. Like you've put me on the spot there.
I know.
no,
Have
I
a wee
know.
bit. We'll let you think about it.
I've come up with one. So there was a late night gig.
Oh, right.
I mentioned this one. It was a late night gig. I was pissed and everybody left. There was that one, but it turns out a bit of material. I was just pissed because it was a late night gig. It was always hard work because it was a late night gig. I decided to get drunker than the crowd one night, so I was
Is
pissed.
that the Jaeger bomb night?
Oh, the Jaeger bomb
Aye.
night, and it was just everybody left halfway through the show. I was a
Did you
disaster.
say something in particular, or was
No,
it
I was just,
going after it?
I was just drunk as fuck, and they went, we're no state. Listen to this cunt. And usually I got away with being a wee bit pissed because it adds to my character a wee bit.
Aye.
But I think I was like beyond pissed.
Aye.
I was beyond pissed.
You were
and-
that guy in the corner and you get stuck with.
I was probably the guy in the bus where you kind of see it, you put your head down and go, oh, no.
He's coming to
Hey,
Don't ever say here, pal. Hey, be the night. Then he starts getting, there's too many brown people on this bus. I mean, he starts. This is it. These cunts. These immigrants. These immigrants in the bus. I mean, that guy. I mean, he thinks you're one of him. You know, he's
Aye.
like, oh, fuck's sake, man.
It's the same when you get in a taxi sometimes, the taxi driver assumes you're also a scumbag.
I know. fucking hell.
But my dad's a taxi driver and my papa's a taxi. I probably shouldn't say shit like that.
I just drop my juice in case you want. If you got a wee thing, you want to stain it. So
Oh, this will be cut.
just in case, I don't want you getting iron bruise stains on your floor there.
That'd be
I'll
fun.
keep it in, man. See, this is authentic though. This is fucking real.
Aye, true.
This is real. Because I know iron bruise a wee bit stainy in it. Here's right. It's a wee under there, mate. So. Then look, you've got a good. Like the camera's just
I
looking
know,
right up your arse.
right up
there,
your
mate,
humph.
right. I was
Is
going to
it-
give you a help, but my legs are all shovels. Like,
Well,
the two grannies kissing have actually stopped to watch you. And you're in that truck at the back watching yourself. having a look. So your doppelganger's actually in the truck going, fucking look at my arse. So sorry, man. And I was always having a chug of all over there,
Aye.
right? So ma, fuck it, this is. So aye, that's what's happening.
The clean up.
Keep that in. That's you want to fuck that being normal shit.
Aye,
So I think see
authentic.
the best gigs are when something chaotic happens. You know, oh he's doing the wet
I
wipes and
know.
everything, man.
Gee, so.
Fair enough. Like the guy in the truck, you in the trucks drove away now. He's bored now. But that's just taking too long now.
You've took his wipes, that's
Aye.
how.
And the old grannies have put their clothes back on and fucked off. And they're eating my cheese.
Watch that guitar, it's going to explode.
Well, I forgot my guitar, aye. Oh, well done, mate. Cheers. Big cheer for.
Well done, right.
Right. So there was another. I'm trying to get another story, right? So there's probably loads.
fucking exercise for the
So
day.
there was one. I'd done a boxing gig. Right.
But at a boxing event?
A fucking boxing event, right?
Yeah, ring girl. Wasn't it?
Aye. So I was squishing cheese all over the place. So I'm doing callbacks as well here. Fucking like callbacks as well. Right? So I'm jumping about with the shovel and going squirting with that. They were loving it, man. It was brilliant. And this boxing gig, right? So there was loads of boxing matches going on, right? As there is. And then when I was on, so there was a kind of MC guy who does boxing gigs. He kind of introduces the fighters and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm not calling him an arsehole, he done a good job. He come on, done some raffle thing. No, but he gets everybody to stand up and to sit them out one at a time until somebody wins. And then there was a break. So people go out for fags and smokes and drinks and stuff, and that's when I was
Would
on
you
stage.
come on?
So I was
You were
on
on in the
stage
break?
during the fucking break. So people are walking by going, where the fuck is this shit? and at that point, I was actually going, I wish I was just getting my cunt kicked in the ring rather than this. And just nobody was interested, man. There was like nobody listening. And I went on there and I just died my hole because it wasn't a gig. It was like nobody was listening.
Aye.
I was on during the break and I think a few people interacted a wee bit, but it was just during the break, man.
Aye.
So
When
people were
everybody's
going for a cigarette and nobody was listening. And after that, I had a few pints after that just to fucking feel normal
Make a
again.
night, yeah, aye.
And I remember it was in Hamilton. It was like Hamilton near the park, no Hamilton Park.
The town hall type
No,
thing?
it was near the
Moose course.
Strathclyde Park somewhere. It was in there somewhere, some hotel or something.
Alona.
I can't remember exactly where it was, but it was in there. But I remember specifically at the end of the gig, I was outside. I'd booked a taxi, and I was waiting. I went in the foyer waiting in a taxi, and a couple of guys came out and they're going, "Fucking hell! I seen you getting paid for that." And there was a. Do you know sometimes, like, I know you've been going a wee while. Every now and again, somebody recognises you for a gig. Yeah, that sometimes.
I've
Right,
had it once. It's fine. Some buzz.
I've had it once.
aye, so it doesn't happen a lot, but I get recognised a lot during the Edinburgh Festival because that's
of
a bigger
course,
thing.
aye.
But every now and again, oh, you're a comedian, aye. So I remember I was doing, like, I think it was that year or the following year, I was doing Hadrian's Wall.
Just
Down
on
in
the tapet, shouting out your material.
yeah. so I was doing the walk.
Oh, right. I thought you were saying you were doing a gig down there.
No, sorry. I was so I was doing the walk. It was a charity walk with a load of other comedians that were doing it. It was brilliant. So we just done it was over a week or something. We walked Hadrian's Wall. So I get the bus down, and I was meeting these guys. So I was a wee bit early. So I popped into this wee place for just a fry up. To kind of get myself ready to go. Sitting there in my bags, and a couple of workies come in, and they went, "Oh fucking hell, you're a comedian, aren't you?" And they were up the road. I was kind of going, "Fucking, you're a comedian, aren't you?" I went, "Aye, I'm aye." I was like, "Where have you seen me?" We seen you at a boxing gig about a year ago. And I was like, "Well, lads, I'll see you later, man." You're the worst comedian I've ever seen, pal.
Oh, God.
So I was meaning to ask this because obviously you're talking about like social media and stuff.
Aye.
Like how much do you think that's kind of changed comedy from when you started to where it
totally.
is the now?
It's a big thing now. That's what I'm trying to do more of it. And it's totally. I think right. No, I think years ago, even now, like there's the kind of. So I wrote a thing years ago. It was about there's comedians who think like employees. Right. You know, you think there are people that work their way up in a job. Like you get in for a job, you start off in the low level, you maybe get a wee promotion, you get a wee bit better, you get another promotion. So there's comedy, there's that way of doing comedy where you work up your way up the comedy club, which is great, which is fine. But now there's a way of doing it, you can beat all that. So you might not, you have to be good as well, but you might not be good at kind of smoozing and
Aye,
you know what I mean?
shooting up to promoters
shooting
and
up
stuff.
that. Well, you don't just networking.
Aye, but I know what you're talking about. Aye, that was the wrong word to use, but it's like the getting yourself introduced and like
because I'm shit at that. I was shit at that. But that's it's a good system, right? Fair
Aye.
enough. But there's people. It's a bit very structured kind of way of developing in comedy, which is not a bad thing. But I think social media is now allowed people that don't fit in that mould to get
succeed.
there. Because there's people that don't fit in that who are fucking good.
Like
'Cause there's-
yourself, you're criminally underrated now, man.
Aye, maybe. So that's
No,
what I'm
you
trying.
are. You should be doing tours. You're an absolute phenomenal act. And that's
That's
how
what I'm
I
trying to
don't
do.
understand it.
Aye, that's why I'm trying to do more social media because I was shit at that. I was shit at that networking, building my way up. Although I do headline a lot of gigs, I'm not in with some clubs just because I'm not good at that kind of. I like going to networking things like kind of like in Edinburgh. There's like these kind of clubs where it's all comedians, smoozy things. I go out and get pissed with my audience.
Aye.
You know what I mean? I prefer that. So, but social media allows you to get away from that. So there's like Gary Falls, Gary Meikle, guys like that. I've done a fucking brilliant job at that. And so that's what I'm trying to do now. You know, still love doing comedy. Now I'm trying to build up my social media because you know I think like see back in the 90s. Do you remember? You ever heard of Phil Kay?
Aye.
The name ring
Was
a
he an actor?
No.
Who am I
He was a
thinking?
comedian.
All right,
But he was a fucking legend, right? He was
Right.
mental, right? So Phil Kay was just a maverick. He could never do a tight 5 in his life, man.
Right.
He's like, see if you asked him to do 5, fucking no chance. So I think him now would be fucked. Well, if he done social media, he'd be fine. But in the kind of structured kind of way of getting up comedy, he'd be fucked.
Right.
Because he would never stick to his
Don't
5
have me
minutes.
because his time kind of thing.
Because he's too
Aye.
fucking good.
Aye.
So he couldn't do a tight set because he's too creative and mental. So he'd have been kind of a fucked with that. Just, you know, but the social media kind of gives people like that are the mavericks, I call them, the kind of mavericks in the world to be a bit. You know, there's Johnny Vegas as well. He had Johnny
Aye.
Vegas.
Aye.
Him as
Okay.
well. He could never do a tight 5. But he was in at the right time and I've never seen him live, but I've heard stories about him. Mental. Could never do a tight set. And so but he's just became big because he's bigger than, you know what I mean?
Aye.
Aye.
So, because I think sometimes the kind of tight structure, which is like, there's no really other way to kind of progress as an open spot, but kind of a wee bit stifles people sometimes, you know. Because that's why I love doing solo shows, because I can do what the fuck I want. I've got like a structure in it, but it gives me freedom to fucking leave that. You know, I can gaff on a tangent if I want. If I want to change the whole show because somebody says something, I can do that.
Aye.
Aye.
That's something watching you just
Aye.
completely blows my mind how you can just. Did you know of a crowd work show where you just spoke to the crowd and
Aye.
for an hour?
Aye, so that was more or less my second show. It changed every day. There was sometimes if the crowd weren't up for it, it'd be more material, but it was more crowd work, I think. Aye, so I kind of done that. Aye,
So that was a gold one I went to, wasn't it?
aye. So I think a lot of the Edinburgh Festival shows I've kind of done it. Get in with like I would do material as well, but I'd get in, talk to the crowd. If I got a good fucking rapport going with the crowd, I would go like that. Fucking, I'll do material if I need it.
Aye.
Aye.
Really? Aye.
Because it was just some.
It's a fucking brilliant skill to have.
Aye.
But I know.
I remember like one day, right? I see sometimes in comedy you get a pure fluke. You just get a pure fluke, man. And you just get something happen like fucking yes. Right? I remember like there was 3 kind of young girls come in, right? They were coming to the show, and I always try and speak to people when they be in. Oh, how you doing? You coming to my show? Aye, cool. So there was 3 of them coming in, but 2 of them were coming to the show. The other one goes, sorry, mate, I need to go. I need to go somewhere else. My pals are going. So they pals went in, and I said to the girl, listen, tell us a bit about your pals. I was like, what did they do?
Oh, nice.
I was like, just tell me. And they went, aye, they work in Fraser's or something like that. I went, all right, cool. So I was kind of going, I went on stage and I kind of, halfway through the show, I says, do you ever think you're psychic? and I started doing that cold reading thing, right? You know, just bullshit, right? I was just bullshitting, getting things. And I got to these wee lassie. I got to this lassie. They went, you look as if you work in Fraser's or something. Right, and they went, what? She went, fuck off or something. And then I said, I just guessed a couple of things. I said, you've got a dog, ain't you? And she went, aye. And this was a pure fucking fluke. And I went, the dog's called Bella, innit? And she went, go and fuck yourself. I got it right. I just got this dog right, man. I was like, I freaked myself out a bit. But I think there's a party though, because there were 2 of them were young, good looking lassies, right? And he's like, they're kind of going, this creepy bastard stalked us.
You've just like
So it's just a pure
followed
fluke,
them there.
man. And there's a couple of times I've done that as it's freaked myself out.
Aye.
Now, I was like I'm no psychic. I don't believe in that. I don't know. Oh, fuck. I was meeting a pal years ago, right? It was a female pal I was meeting. I was meeting her because there was a lassie I was good at with. It was a bit. I was meeting her just to. She was good talk to about stuff.
Yeah.
And I met her at Huggy Loch. No Hugginfield Loch. Well, it's Huggy. Doesn't matter. Google it. So I met her there. I was just walking around the loch, and she was telling me, she was talking to an older couple. I was talking to an old guy or something like that. When I was talking to this old guy, I drank something. I really spewed up some cheese there, right? So I was talking to her. She said, "Cheesy nipples." I'm going to do a show next year called Cheesy Nipples.
Cheesy nipples, aye.
So she said, I was talking to this old guy about his wife or something. He said, because this girl was quite kind of
Empathetic.
Aye, she was a good cunt. So she was quite empathetic, right? And she said, I was talking to this old guy about his wife, lovely guy, and he had this lovely wee dog as well. And I went, just out of the blue, I went, "Oh, how was Max?" And she went, "What?" I went, "Max, the dog, how was he?" I went, "How the fuck do you know that?" I don't know, I just guessed. And it was just like a
Fuck
fucking...
off.
I was like...
You're good at guessing dogs' names.
Aye, maybe,
Aye.
man, I don't know. And it was just weird as fuck. And I've had weird things like that happening. Maybe I'm psychic as fuck.
Aye.
My dad's got a dog. What's his name?
Stephen.
Fuck off.
No. Well, wait, let me guess. No. What kind of dog is it?
It's a King Corso, Italian Mastiff.
It's I've not said the name already, have I?
No.
It suits him, the dog, the name suits him.
Aye, 100%.
It's start with a B.
No.
Was that a male dog?
A male dog.
Prince.
No. Nearly? No, it's along the lines.
Prince was my mom's dog's name.
Fucking, I knew it.
See, you're reading the wrong end of the room here.
And Prince's D, didn't he?
Aye.
Because you said it was my mom's dog's
Aye.
name. And that
Right.
was like a Labrador, wasn't it?
No, it was the same dog as Lassie. It was Lassie.
A lassie was a Labrador, wasn't he?
Right, I've got a dog. Right, there she is there.
You've got visuals.
Ben.
She.
All right, Bella.
No, you just say Bella everyone.
Aye,
and
'cause
what were you
Because
like?
that's your sister's dog.
That's my
is it?
sister's
Oh,
dog
is it?
there. How did you know that? Right,
So I met the dog.
Sheba.
No,
What is it?
Lara.
Lara, what's your dog's name then?
Thor.
I knew that. I fucking knew that.
Well, he's got a wee bra. What's his name?
Stevie.
Oh, come on,
Can I
Thor.
do it?
Aye.
Loki.
Loki, aye.
You know it, didn't you?
No,
No,
it's just because
Thor
Thor
and
and
Loki.
Loki. No.
No.
I don't know that. Gods or something like that.
Aye.
I don't know much about that, so aye, mate. Well done. Right, what else? What do you want to talk about now?
I
I've
have.
got custard coming out my arse.
Well, since you've asked, Obie, me and Ryan were doing a gong show last night.
All right.
Aye.
So it was kind of like a cockpit. There was meant to be 20 comedians there,
Right.
and 4 turned up.
Oh, fuck.
One came from Aberdeen
Shit.
2.5
to
hour drive.
Hamilton.
Oh, was it in the
Junkyard.
I love the junkyard.
Aye, so
brilliant.
How many audience members was there?
There was more than that
aye,
for a change.
5. There was 5.
The three old
five
guys?
audience mem-
Aye,
just the
there
2
was
of them.
5. Aye, it was
Old
2 of them.
Andy.
Old Andy.
Andy
Andy.
Murray. He done a few gigs. Aye, there's he has
Aye,
two pals.
aye.
Aye.
Aye, Andy's really good. But so we done that, and it turned out it wasn't going to be a gong show. So it was going to be me versus Ryan to start with, and then the boy from Aberdeen,
Matthew Ross.
Matthew Ross, who's really fucking good.
Oh, is he
Aye.
a young guy? Is he
Aye,
good?
young
Aye.
guy.
aye.
The guy
And,
back
He's been doing it for about a year.
All right, good.
Up in
Aye.
Aberdeen.
oh,
He
it
is.
was-
He's
it was-
really
it was-
good.
aye.
There's not enough gigs up that way.
Aye,
fella.
that's-
I know.
Aye.
You can kind of tell that when you were watching him that he's not enough stage time, but his
Aye,
material
Aye,
and
he's
even
solid,
he's
man.
A bit of
Like
natural,
stage
you
change?
think? Aye.
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 100%.
He and Roddy Cairns.
Oh, I like Roddy. Does
Aye.
have a play. Aye. He's quite good.
Roddy's brilliant. But so 4 hours turned up, and obviously it was meant to be a gong show.
Right.
But with, Ian McDonald decided to turn it into like a tournament style.
So
Right.
me versus Ryan to start with, and then they two against each
Aye.
other.
And the audience decide who's the best.
Aye. So we do 5 minutes each, and then they would decide out of me now, 5 minutes each, and decide out of Roddy and Matthew.
Aye.
Right, and then we'd go into a final and do 5 minutes each, and then there was a third and fourth playoff. Right.
Aye.
So me and Al have obviously went up against who Jink won.
Oh, I don't know, man.
The one smiling, trying.
Oh, aye, was it you? Aye.
I heard I was up against right, he's walked us here. Right, so I went up and done my new stuff I'd been working on.
So I've not seen you performing for a while, so it's hard to
Aye,
know.
true.
But
I've not seen you enough taking a know much. So.
Aye.
I've done his stuff and done great. And I just went up and tried my new stuff, and it was just that way. See when you've got new stuff and it just clicks. Everything just clicks in.
Aye.
It just clicked and I did brilliant.
Aye.
5 minutes and I get through and I'm like, fuck me, like, what did I do now? And I'm reading through my notes trying to get another 5 for the final.
You had to do a different 5.
Aye. But I had my bankers already because I'd done my new stuff, do you know what I mean?
So you got to ask something there? He says you've got to ask something about that or no?
Well, no.
Aye.
No. See, because this is going back to social media.
Aye.
I wish it had been filmed because I went up and done my opening joke, and it's a cracker, but I can never use it again because it was crowd work.
Aye.
So I went up and there was this lassie, and she was making wee animals. She was a zoologist, so she was making wee animals out of paper. It's called origami.
Origami.
Aye. And there was hundreds of them round about her, and I walked up and says, "Oh, multiple origamis." I thought that was a myth. And
See, that'll never happen again. 'Cause
no,
nobody will ever
exactly.
make that.
Nobody's ever going to make origami while I'm up there, unless I bring her with me to like some shows. But
Because it would never work again because it was natural.
exactly.
If you recreate that, people know it's staged. People could tell, I think.
I'll always try. I done the Burns House once, and I was going in, and it was just off Canal Street, and my first joke was like, "Oh, this is a really classy place," and it was in, is it Paisley? Is it into
Renfrew.
Aye, Renfrew, and everybody just started laughing because it's not a classy place, and I says it is a classy place because see that Canal Street. If that was run my way, we would have rubbed the sea out on it, and like. But it's just like getting the wee kind of local references kind of helps you warm up to the crowd and stuff like that.
The best crowd work person I know is Raymond Mearns.
I was just going to say that you and him are.
Oh man, that fucking. There's always like the end of the festival, right? Me and a few of my comedy pals always go and watch his. So it's the last Monday. We finish the Sunday, but Raymond's always got a show on the Monday.
Aye.
So it's been that kind of tradition. We go there, watch Raymond doing his show, and it's mostly crowd work, man. And watch him, and then we get pissed. Usually Raymond ends up buying the beer, but he didn't make it this year. Obviously, wasn't well this year. I don't, so he just talks to the crowd. He's got brilliant material in there, but he puts the material in if it suits what he's talking about the crowd.
Aye.
So if he talks to you and you tell him about the job he used to have, he'll tell you a story about that, and it's brilliant to watch.
I had him on. I'd run a show in the Village Inn. I'll speak to you in it. And
About me at the
I don't know if you want to come, but and he went up and he's speaking to a guy who said he works for Newtown Skips and done 20 minutes on Skips.
Aye.
It was insane.
Aye.
I
Who
don't
was it?
know.
Because that's who I've just told to go fuck themselves.
Is that your job, is it? Aye.
I don't know who it was.
Aye, he's well read, I know. He just reads.
Aye.
He reads. You ask him about something like that, I fucking tell you. It's just.
Aye, but how does somebody have 20 minutes worth of material on Skips or knowledge to go for 20 minutes about Skips?
It's just, I think it's just balls of doing it, man. Going fuck it. It's like commitment, I think.
Aye.
It's like in Edinburgh. See when I'm kind of like when I'm doing the kind of so see like a couple of years ago. Remember just after the pandemic, I was doing 3 solo shows a day. Because that year there was fuck all else on, so I got loads of gigs.
Aye.
You know, and it was great because I was getting a good audience in because there was no competition that year.
Nobody could travel, so you get in yourself.
So I took the first 2 shows were kind of structured, and the third one, right, was where we usually do jocks, Geordies and Aussies.
Oh, aye.
So we do that every year, me and my mates. So that year I called it. I had to do it that year to keep the slot because you kind of they give you the same slot if it goes well. And I called it that year Jocks, Geordies and Aussies without the Geordies and Aussies. So it was just me. And occasionally I would get somebody on if they turned up, do you want to do a wee 10? Because it was just a show where I fucked about. But that, I had a freedom where into that. Was I didn't give a fuck what I was doing. I would just get people in and just do mostly crowd work. I gave myself a kind of challenge that year. I tried not to do material on that show. Just take the piss out of people in the audience. And some nights were chaos.
Aye.
But I loved it. It was like people coming in. People wandering in. Because the way they didn't really set it up right, because it was still mid-pandemic kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So then they set the seats up, so people sitting at tables and stuff. So it was a wee bit different. And I just loved the freedom of just fucking about.
Aye.
And that, and it was just good fun. I had a good laugh.
That is some of the best gigs. See, when you just don't care about the outcome and you just play about with things. I love it.
It's very rare that folk can do what you and Raymond do. I do kind of put you on par with Raymond because
You,
any show we
Raymond,
go to-
Mackie, I've got
Mackie,
legends.
as well. Sorry,
Legends of the scene, man.
He doesn't give a fuck, does he, Mackie,
No.
man? He's like, I think he's because he's been a techie teacher for years. Probably getting bullied off of teenagers.
It's
for
like
his career,
he's probably
lad.
teaching
loads.
and just doing it for so long. It's like, fuck
Aye.
it.
He's just got that nonchalant kind of, I don't give a fuck what you do, man.
I was at a gig last one. I was up in Burnsouth actually, and he basically set up a fake wedding, and it was like everybody there was guests, and they're saying like, right, what's happening at the wedding? Who's having? And it was
Raymond?
mental.
Aye.
No, that was Graham Mackey.
That's great.
And
Aye.
it was just. It's such a different way to do it, but like to have that skill
Aye.
to not give a fuck and just go up and say, right, this is happening. You just tell me what I need to joke about, and then fucking just.
Do you know who was good at that years ago? Who does? He's not gigged as much, but I think he's back doing. But you know Bruce Morton,
I've known that I've
Aye,
seen the name, but I've.
he's a fucking legend, man. He was
Aye.
he was one of my heroes before I started doing comedy.
Oh really?
So years ago in the 90s, he had his own show where he done like six episodes, I think, like half hour solo stuff. So like over like a season, like it was like a fucking full season. I think it was one season he had maybe, and I remember seeing him, and it was the first time I'd seen stand up. Like I was like maybe early 90s, I think. So I was like maybe 17 or something like that, and I still had that secret that I wanted to be a stand up. I hadn't tell MD. It's a weird thing, right? And I remember watching this big lanky kind of baldy guy, and it was different for Connolly. Because when you see Connolly, it was like in a big venue, and it was kind of. But Bruce Morton, I seen him. It was like don't know where it was filmed. It was in a kind of small theatre or something, but it was quite intimate.
Aye.
And I loved it, man. I loved the feel of it. And he was talking. It was I can't remember his material, but it was just different for Connolly. And it was the first guy I'd seen that was Scottish. It was kind of a different. And I was like, that guy's fucking brilliant, man. And I was gonna. I don't know if he was one of the guys that made me think I wanted. It made it more accessible.
Aye.
Because Connolly was like a big fucking
theatres
venues.
and-
But he was doing a wee venue. I was like, I kind of think I could maybe do that. And I remember I was doing the stand years ago. They don't book me now. It doesn't matter. Right, no, it doesn't matter. I'm not at school. So I was doing a gig at the stand once. And Bruce was on, but I couldn't remember this guy's name. I remember seeing this guy in the 90s, but I was like, there's this baldy guy, brilliant. I couldn't tell, and I was on. I think he was comparing the gig, and I was kind of watching when I was after I'd been on, and I was like, he'd done a wee bit. And I was like, that's that guy.
Aye.
I'm gigging with that guy. Man.
Aye.
And I was kind of starstruck. I was
mental.
like, you were on the telly, and I was like, holy shit. And you know when you've just started doing stand up, all of a sudden. They maybe go to the stand and Kevin Bridges comes in to do a bit. You're
Aye.
like, fucking hell, that was like my moment.
That
I was
was
like,
yours,
at that time I thought, I've made it. I'm gigging with the guy for the telly. But I was only doing a 5-minute spot. But
Aye.
and he was lovely, man. And I know I've known him quite well ever since. And it was just he was brilliant. He used to do a thing, and it was kind of I think he had like lines that he'd written for it. So as Graham was, you said Graham done the kind of wedding party
Aye,
thing.
aye.
So Bruce done a thing where, well, this is like being at your like a house party, and he would kind of give people in the audience a character. Like you're like the two mad aunties. Like so two women sit together. You're like the two mad aunties, like you bitching about these two over here, and you're like the wee Ned snorting coke and all that, and they just create this whole thing that was beautiful. You know.
Aye. It's a real skill, and
And
you've
I'll
definitely got it.
do that. And Bruce as well. I booked him to do a gig in Bannatyne's gym years ago. So I was in the gym and they were looking for social things. And I was like, I could do a comedy show, and if you give me a budget, I could get good accent to do a thing. And I compared it, and I got Bruce to headline it. and see, and it was Bannatynes and steps, and it was in the kind of reception area. So there's people in watching it, but there's people walking by going in and out of the gym.
Oh, fuck.
It was actually alright despite that. It was actually alright. But see, behind where the stage was, the swimming pool was there. Right, so Bruce was on stage, swimming pool, and while he was on, some cunt in a snorkel was going up and down. Some cunt in a snorkel, and Bruce done 20 minutes. Fucking
they done 20 Brits.
more or less commentating on this guy swimming. It was beautiful, man. It was just brilliant, man. And I was like, so some of the gigs I remember, that fucking brilliant, man.
It's a real skill that you've got,
so
man.
you said you've got shows to plug.
Aye, let's go.
Aye, we're running out of time now.
That's us, aye.
So I've got Glasgow. So when's this going out?
This will be Monday.
Monday, right. So I've got the Glasgow Comedy Festival shows. I should have wrote the dates down, man. When's my dates? Maybe
we can put them on the...
I put them on. So they're 2 in March. One's about the 23rd. So one's on a Saturday afternoon. Is the 23rd a Saturday afternoon?
Aye.
So Saturday afternoon and nice and sleazies.
Nice.
So it's 3 o'clock. It's 100 seater, so I'd love to sell that out. So have you put the link on it?
Aye.
I've got one the following Thursday, so I've got 100 seater and 130 seater. So I'm trying to. That's how I'm trying to build my social media, because I want to sell out shows like that regularly.
Aye.
So I've got 100 seater. That's on the Saturday afternoon, which is great. That'd be great. You could go out, go to the show, get a bevy after it.
Saturday,
because I'll be on.
I
after
might
that,
come
man.
out for it,
Aye, come for it, man. Come for it. Then I'll be on the bevy after it, man. So it's good. So I sold a few already, but it'd be nice to sell it out. And I've got one the following Thursday in Blackfriars, which is fucking great venue.
Blackfriars
That's
is one of the
Thursday
best
night.
venues in
I
the
love
city,
it.
the new, man.
That was my first ever gig after Viv's
Was it?
course like 25 years ago. Aye.
Wow.
Fuck me.
Yeah,
Raven compared it.
Oh, did they?
Aye.
Brilliant.
Oh, we've still got our show in the...
Aye.
Oh, Steve usually does this. Have you memorised it?
Oh, I done it last night, too.
Aye, spitting.
They've got
Right,
it
so
in Nipple Street.
We've got 2.5 days. Me, Al, and Stephen are doing a show in Van Winkle, West End, the 17th of March at 2:15. Sunday, 17th. Fuck! Me.
Van Winkle's West End,
Van
17th
Winkle
of March,
West End.
2:15.
Van
Boomtown.
Winkle's is a great wee venue as well.
I've not been in it yet.
Aye, it's a West End one.
And
But
I've just
anyway,
been looking
that's
at the
us.
menu.
That's our shows.
Aye.
And that's 2.5
Follow
days.
us socials. What's your Instagram? And your
So
Facebook?
Obie comedian, but I've got my podcast as well. I've started.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got my shows coming up. The Fuck It List podcast. We've done 4 episodes, and we're kind of me and a guy Chris Penn are doing it together, plus guests every now and again. And this idea of just taking chances in life, so just fucking doing things.
Aye.
It's definitely worth a watch.
Aye.
Definitely. So is this.
But this has been fun, man. I've enjoyed this.
Aye, brilliant.
Thanks for coming, Obie.
Thanks for
It's been
having us,
it's been
lads.
an absolute
I'll
pleasure.
send you an invoice. So was it £500 you said? Was that?
That is a joke. Nobody else.
Oh no, they're comedians going, you never paid us, you cunts. I got a can of Iron Brew Extra. So
It's
that's
spilled half out of the flare. But thanks, Trips. See you
Thank
next
you.
week. Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.